Okay, so pag-usapan po natin yung tungkol sa senator judges natin kung whether or not dapat po ba ay passive lang talaga sila, meaning hindi sila dapat nagtatanong ng mga questions in a very aggressive manner kung saan dahil po sa mga questions sila ay nilalabel sila ngayon as senator judge for the prosecution or senator judge for the defense. Okay, so for today po, para maintindihan nyo talaga, i-explain ko po sa inyo yung constitutional basis ng functions ng senator judges, kung ano po yung nakasulat sa Senate impeachment rules, sa Code of Judicial Conduct, and isang kaso din po in relation to the actions of judges in cases. Okay, and aside from that po, magbibigay na lang din ako ng personal observations ko kay Senator Judge Chis Escudero as the presiding officer at sa mga actions din po ng iilan ng senator judges natin. Okay, so good day po to all of you, my fellow taong bayan, mga kasimor, at yan po ang video natin for today. Okay, so brief facts lang po muna tayo para maintindihan nyo talaga yung context ng discussion. So alam naman po natin na meron ng 10 impeachment trial days na nangyari po for the impeachment case si Vice President Sara Duterte, and naka 3 weeks na rin po tayo. So sa lahat po ng nangyari so far sa impeachment, isa po sa common denominator na comments na nakikita ko po ay may ilan daw tayong senator judges na senator judge prosecutor, tapos senator judge defense. Hindi ko na lang po papangalanan kung sino yung mga senator judges na yon para iwas tayo masyado sa political side of things, kasi ang purpose ko lang po talaga dito sa video na to ay i-discuss lang yung role talaga dapat ng judges sa mga kaso para mas maintindihan nyo po talaga whether or not nga po dapat ba passive lang sila or pwede sila magtanong aggressively. Okay, so kayo na po bahala magsabi or mag-determine kung sino si senator judge prosecutor or si senator judge defendant. Okay, so ngayon po i-discuss ko muna yung constitutional basis ng functions po ng senator judges natin. Okay, so yung first question po muna natin ay bakit nga ba naging senator judges talaga yung mga senator natin? And I know this is very basic pero explain ko lang po para maintindihan nyo talaga yung actual foundation nitong discussion natin. So this is a 1987 Constitution of the Republic of the Philippines, and under Article 11 po yan, accountability of public officers. Tapos Section 3, number 6. So ito po yan. The Senate shall have the sole power to try and decide all cases of impeachment. So pag nag-convene po ang Senate as an Senate impeachment court, hindi kasi yun sila simple na senador na lang, kung hindi senator judges po yung tawag sa kanila, kasi ang trabaho na po nila pag ganun ay to try and decide yung impeachment case na final po or inakyat sa Senate as the impeachment trial court. Therefore, they are now governed or dapat sundin po nila yung mga principles or code of conduct in relation to judges, kasi nga po senator judge na yung tawag sa kanila. Okay, so yan po yung pinaka-reason kaya naging senator judges yung senators natin. And then yung next naman po ay pupunta naman tayo sa Bill of Rights. So the Bill of Rights po kasi dito natin makikita yung right to due process natin in Section 1. No person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor shall any person be denied the equal protection of laws. So ito po pinapakita ko lang sa inyo kasi when we speak of due process, isa po sa pinaka-fundamental talaga dyan ay dapat pag kinokondak ang isang legal or judicial proceeding, dapat po mabigyan ng impartial justice yung akusado or respondent. So when you say impartial justice, dapat po yung mga judges na nag-handle ng kaso na yon ay hindi po sila bias. Yan po yung very simple way to explain it. And again, that is because of our right to due process. Kasi pag yung mga judges po ay may mga biases, edi hindi na po yun impartial justice, di ba? Parang nagkaroon na lang yan ng proceeding, pakitang tao na lang para lang magkaroon ng appearance of compliance with the rule of law. Pero yun pala, niluto na yung proceeding, di ba? So again, in relation po to Section 1, our right to due process, our senator judges must be impartial. So ito po yung pinaka-foundation yan, yung rule or yung requirement ng impartiality from our senator judges. And then ngayon po, punta naman tayo sa 2025 Code of Judicial Conduct and Accountability. Okay, so kung makita po nyo, this is a very new na rules po governing mga judges in general. This was promulgated lang November 11, 2025. At ang tawag nga po dito is the 2025 Code of Judicial Conduct and Accountability, AM number 25-04-04-SC. So ang una nyo pong kailangan matandaan dito, hindi to siya strictly legally speaking pwede talaga ipagpilit na sundin ng senator judges natin, kasi hindi naman po member ng judiciary yung senator judges natin. They are still considered as senator judges. So para naging hybrid na po yan sila na under nung Article 6 Legislative Department in relation dun sa Article 11 po na Accountability of Public Officers na provision. Pero since may judges na nga sila, pwede to gamitin as a basis na sundan nila kasi senator judges nga po may judges na aspect din yung function nila which is to conduct the impeachment trial na dapat impartial po sila in accordance nga dun sa right to due process natin yung section 1 of article 3. So kung medyo naguluhan na po kayo, i-rewind nyo na lang po itong discussion ko para mas maintindihan ninyo yung pinaka point ko. So dito po ang gusto ko lang ipakita sa inyo is nasa canon 2. Una po, ito muna, fidelity refers to a judge fealty to the role in the administration of justice and to the institution in ensuring the efficient and effective operation of the court. Section 1, fealty to the Constitution and the law. A judge shall uphold the Constitution and the laws of the land. In case of doubt in the interpretation and application of the laws, a judge shall be guided both by the letter and the spirit of the law. In the absence or insufficiency of an applicable law, a judge shall be guided by what is right, just, and fair. Diba? So kung makita po ninyo, constitutional supremacy pa rin po talaga yung pinakauna dito sa Canon 2 sa fidelity. Okay, and then yung next po na gusto ko ipakita naman is Canon 3 sa impartiality naman. So kung makita ninyo, Section 1, duty to be impartial. A judge shall perform all duties without fear or favor, bias, or prejudice. In simple terms, dapat impartial, walang bias, walang pinapanigan po yung judges natin. And this is all in relation nga po dun sa Section 1, right to due process natin. Kasi dapat po yung hustisya must always be impartial at walang pinapanigan. Okay, at aside from duty to be impartial, dapat din po may appearance of impartiality. So in the discharge of duties, judge shall not only be impartial but must also appear to be impartial to a reasonable observer who is referred to as a reasonable, fair-minded, and informed person. So ito pong reasonable observer, tayo po yan yung mga nag-o-observe talaga at nanonood sa impeachment process. Dapat po sa pananaw natin, regardless of our political affiliation, ay yung judges walang appearance of partiality. Walang appearance of partiality or pagiging bias. Okay, so yan po yung pinaka-basics talaga. A judge, or in this case, a senator judge must not only be impartial, kundi dapat ang pananaw din po natin ng mga nag-o-observe sa impeachment process ay wala rin po silang appearance of bias. Okay, and aside from this po, ipakita ko na lang din yung Senate impeachment rules mismo para maintindihan nyo rin po talaga. So ito po, Resolution number 39, Republic of the Philippines Resolution adopting the rules of procedure on impeachment trials. So yung una po dito, Senator shall observe political neutrality during the course of the impeachment trial. Political neutrality shall be defined as exercise of public officials' duty without unfair discrimination and regardless of party affiliation or preference. Or in simple terms po, hindi sila dapat mag-decide sa action sila sa Senate Impeachment Court because of their political affiliation. So this is just another way of saying na dapat wala pong bias, impartial po talaga yung senator judges natin. So nasa Article 3 po yan ng Senate Rules on Impeachment. And then ipakita ko lang din po sa inyo yung oath mismo ng senator judges natin para maintindihan nyo talaga. Ito po, zoom in ko lang para makita nyo kasi maliit pala. So kita nyo, form of oath to be administered to the members of the Senate and the presiding officer sitting in the trial of impeachment. I solemnly swear that in all things appertaining to the trial of the impeachment of ito name to ng respondent now pending, I will do impartial justice according to the Constitution and laws of the Philippines. Okay, so hopefully po nag-gets ninyo yung pinaka-foundation po ng discussion natin na nagsisimula po dun sa Section 1, Article 3 of the Bill of Rights, tapos sa Code of Judicial Conduct and Accountability of Judges, tapos ngayon po dito sa oath ng mga senator judges natin, plus dun sa Article 3 din ng Senate Impeachment Rules, yung pinaka-common denominator po talaga dyan ay dapat impartial justice yung makuha po ng respondent sa impeachment process. Meaning, yung senator judges po natin ay dapat impartial talaga, walang pinapanigan at hindi mag-base lang sa political affiliations yung mga actions nila. However po, you should not be confusing that with whether or not hindi na pwede magtanong yung senator judges natin aggressively na kung saan dahil sa pagka-aggressive nila ay mukhang may pinapanigan na sila, may it be for the prosecution or for the defense. Kasi diba tandaan natin, sinabi rin, hindi lang actual impartiality but appearance of impartiality. However, again, dapat po wag niyo yun i-confuse with taking part or aggressively taking part in the proceedings. Okay, so ngayon po i-discuss ko naman sa inyo kung paano ba dapat yung line of questioning talaga ng mga judges sa mga kaso. Okay, time out lang muna mga Kasimor. Gusto ko lang po kayo i-remind na hopefully you can like this video po, mag-subscribe sa YouTube channel ko. Libre po yung YouTube subscription ko, 100% free. Basta sa YouTube po, hindi sa Facebook or TikTok. And of course, pasalamat din po sa inyong lahat na nakasubscribe na. 484,000 na po tayo. Sobrang lapit na po sa 500,000, 500,000 sa YouTube. So hopefully po, matulungan nyo naman ako doon at ma-achieve ko yung milestone na yon. Okay, so ngayon po, tuloy tayo sa discussion. Okay, and for that po, pupunta tayo sa kasong COSEP versus People of the Philippines. 1998 pa po to na case, but the legal principle still applies naman po up to date. So this is GR number 110353 at yung relevant provision lang po is this one. So ang sinabi po ng Supreme Court dito, however, this is not to say that judges must remain passive or silent during the proceedings, since they are in a better position to observe the demeanor of the witness as he testifies on the witness stand. It is only natural for judges to ask questions to elicit facts with a view to attain justice for the parties. Question designed to clarify points and to elicit additional relevant evidence are not improper. Also, the judge being the arbiter may properly intervene in the presentation of evidence to expedite and prevent unnecessary waste of time. So in simple terms po, wag natin dapat paghaluin or i-confuse yung pagiging impartial from being passive or aggressive. Magkaiba po yun. Kasi pwede ka naman po mag-actively participate, pwede ka po maging aggressive sa questioning mo, pero it does not mean you are now being partial or being biased, di ba? As long as masundan po yung mga guidelines dito, ang sinabi po ng Supreme Court dito, questions designed to clarify points and to elicit additional relevant evidence are not improper. Di ba? Tas ang sinabi rin, the judge being the arbiter may properly intervene in the presentation of evidence to expedite and prevent unnecessary waste of time. So dito pa lang po makikita natin na pwede talaga maging aggressively at maging active participant yung senator judges natin. As long as they are doing it na hindi po sila nag-fill in the blanks, hindi nila dinadagdagan yung legal theory ng either prosecution or defense, hindi po sila nagdadagdag sa statements ng witnesses or ng facts to the case, then that is proper po. So kung makita po ninyo ang controlling principle talaga dito is pag clarificatory question lang po, kahit na po mukhang pinapanigan yung isang side, that is allowed as long as part na po yun ng testimony ng witness, part ng evidence, and part ng case records. Okay, so yan po ang dapat nyo talaga maintindihan. Again, please do not confuse yung pagiging impartial from being aggressive and actively participating in the proceedings kasi trabaho po yan ng senator judges or ng judges po talaga in general. And even in the presentation of evidence, pwede nga po mag-intervene din yung judges according to the Supreme Court. Okay, so hopefully klaro po yan. Ngayon po, magbigay naman ako ng personal comments ko sa observations ko kay Senator Judge Chis Escudero as the presiding officer. Okay, so ang una ko pong masasabi sa manner po ng pag-preside over ni Senator Escudero as the presiding officer, ang first comment ko po dyan, I'll be honest, kala ko po may may papanigan siyang isang side because of all the political noise po na tinatapon against him or yung mga lumalabas, lalo na po in relation dun sa paglipat niya ng majority. Kasi ang sinasabi, di ba, may pinipressure daw siya, ganyan-ganyan, ng mga cases. So I was expecting mukhang may papanigan siya na isang side. But in fairness naman po kay Presiding Officer Escudero so far, dun sa first few weeks niya, I will still give him a passing grade. Hindi naman po pasang-awa. Kung bibigyan natin ng actual grade, sabihin ko na lang po B-. Kasi mukha naman pong pinapakinggan talaga niya yung both sides, pinapapresent niya ng maayos yung both sides. Tapos kung merong mga maneuvering na ginagawa yung both sides, prosecution at defense, ay pinapayagan naman niya. So overall po sa first few weeks, B- nga po. Kasi parang parang medyo passive pa po si Senator Escudero noon, pero patas naman siya to both parties. Meaning yung pag-preside niya, may appearance talaga na kinikater niya po yung mga motions, requests, objections ng both parties. 'Di ba? Pero ang mako-comment ko lang doon ay hindi naman po dapat fully nga maging passive, 'di ba? Yung senator judges like what I have explained earlier. And even in jurisprudence, ang sinabi doon, ang judge mismo pwede rin mag-intervene sa presentation ng evidence na kung nakikitang may mga delaying tactics na lang na ginagawa yung isang party. Pero despite that na hindi siya ganun ka-aggressive initially sa first week, ay may passing grade pa nga rin po siya kasi na-feel ko naman po na he is doing his best para maging impartial po talaga siya at ma-present ng maayos yung both sides ng parties. So yun po yung comments ko as to the first 2 weeks ng impeachment trial. Tapos dito naman po sa third week ng impeachment trial natin, tataasan ko na po yung grade ko kay Senator Escudero, kay Presiding Officer Escudero from B-, bibigyan ko na po siya ng B+. And I am sure yung mga pro-impeachment, pro-prosecution ang sasabihin kaya ako ginawang B+, is because number one, I'm a quote-unquote DDS lawyer. Number two, because pagpigil po niya kay Representative De Lima dun sa opening remarks. So, ang masasabi ko lang po dyan, kaya ako pabor dun sa pagpigil ni Senator Escudero, Presiding Officer Escudero sa opening remarks ni Rep. De Lima. It's because hindi po kasi proper yung ganun. 'Di ba? As ruled by Senator Escudero himself, yung opening remarks kasi ng either prosecution or defense ay dapat hindi sila magbigay ng mga conclusory statements or conclusory remarks. Kasi yung real status po kasi talaga niyan ay allegations pa lang po yung sinasabi ng prosecution. Pero ang nangyayari po kasi pag i-present yun ng prosecution sa opening remarks pa lang, tapos mukhang conclusions of facts and law na, meaning pinapa-appear talaga ng prosecution na mukhang may ginawa ng mali yung respondent, ay unfair po yun. Kasi dapat po yung mga conclusions ay based on the evidence and witnesses presented. Hindi po yan dapat manggaling sa parties. Kasi pag galing sa parties, talagang self-serving yan. Kasi for them, may mali na agad ginawa yung kabila. Kahit pa nga po, hindi yun na-establish. And the reason kaya ko po nasabing tama lang na pinigilan yun ni Senator Escudero is because of the unique setup po ng impeachment process natin. Diba? Sui generis siya. May quasi-judicial, quasi-legal, plus may quasi-political angle. Lalo na nga po dito sa impeachment trial, yung impeachable officer po na nakasalang ay politician. In the impeachment process po kasi, ang main purpose talaga niyan ay to determine whether or not an impeachable offense was committed by an impeachable officer. Hindi po siya for purposes of trial by publicity or para po makapush ng political narrative. So yun po yung reason kaya ko sinabi na proper lang, kasi pag inallow po yun mag-present ng conclusions of fact, conclusions of law, tapos wala pa namang any evidence presented, in the eyes and ears ngayon of the taong bayan na nanonood, tapos hindi nila fully naunawaan pa yung proceedings, lalo na po madaming legal jargons, ay posible makaapekto yun dun sa political reputation ng impeachable officer. E diba, yun nga po yung impeachment, ang purpose lang ay to determine impeachable offense, kung whether or not may kinumit, at hindi siya dapat gamiting platform para gumawa ng political attacks, trial by publicity, or to push nga po a political narrative. Diba? So yan po yung main reason kaya tinaasan ko na yung grade ni Presiding Officer Escudero. And again, that is not simply because I am a quote-unquote DDS lawyer. Kung hindi, ganyan po kasi dapat yung proper talaga. Kasi at the end of the day po, yung presiding officer has the power to control kung paano yung direction or the manner kung paano i-conduct yung proceedings. Nasa Senate impeachment rules din po yan. So ipakita ko lang din po. Ito po, nasa Article 4, the presiding officer shall have the power to make an issue by himself or by the Secretary of the Senate all orders, mandates, and writs authorized by these rules or by the Senate, and to make and enforce such other regulations and orders in the premises as the Senate may authorize or provide. Diba? Plus yung pinakita ko rin po sa inyong case kanina, pwede nga rin po talaga kontrolin ng judge kung paano yung manner pag-present ng witnesses or ng evidence. Kung may clear violations of the Constitution, pwede po talaga mag-step in yung presiding officer niyan. Or in other words, pwede din po siya maging active in prohibiting the parties, may it be the prosecution or the defense, from performing certain actions kung clearly vina-violate na po nun yung Constitution, yung batas natin, or yung rules po ng Senate Impeachment Court or the rules of court. And that is mainly the reason po kaya tinaasan ko na yung grade ni Senator Escudero, kasi na-feel ko mas naging active na ngayon yung pag-preside niya sa proceedings. At tama nga naman po yun, kasi hindi naman kailangan na passive lang talaga yung senator judges natin. Hindi po nila kailangan antayin lang na mag-object yung either party kung nakikita niyang may constitutional, may very clear constitutional or legal violations na po na ginagawa yung either party. Okay, so ngayon po na-discuss ko yung observations ko kay Presiding Officer Escudero. I-discuss ko naman po yung observations ko sa senator judges natin. Okay, so ang una ko pong comment dyan, I am very aware naman po sa mga comments and sa sentiments ng general public na may ilang senator judges na bias towards the prosecution, tas may ilan naman na bias towards the defense. Expected naman po yan na may different positions po talaga yung mga senator judges dapat natin, kasi meron po yan silang different appreciation of the facts at sa mga batas or legal basis or sa legal theory po ng both parties na pinapresent. That is expected naman po and common po yan. Even in our Supreme Court, ko ito po makita ninyo, ito pong case is tungkol dun sa 60 billion PhilHealth funds kung saan inutusan po ng Supreme Court ang government natin na ibalik yung 60B PhilHealth funds. Tapos kung makita po ninyo dito, iba-iba rin yung mga explanation nila. So yung ponente po dito is si Associate Justice Lazaro Javier. Para po sa kanya, hindi unconstitutional yung Presidential Certification of Urgency. Pero kung tingnan nyo naman po kay Senior Justice Marvic Leonen, Presidential Certification of Urgency unconstitutional. Diba? Tas kay Associate Justice Hernando rin po, Special Provision 1D, so on and so forth, unconstitutional din. Inclusion of unprogrammed appropriations, unconstitutional din. So overall po, kung tingnan ninyo yung mga Supreme Court cases natin, iba-iba po talaga yung mga explanation or understanding din ng mga justices natin from the facts and law presented. So yung point ko lang po talaga dito, expected naman po yun na may senator judges na yung line of questioning ay mukhang pinapanigan yung prosecution or yung defense. Basta ang importante lang po, more on clarificatory lang yun siya at hindi dapat sila nag-fill in the blanks, di ba? Hindi nila dinadagdagan yung legal theory ng either party, hindi nila dinadagdagan yung evidence or yung testimony ng witnesses. As long as it is for clarificatory purpose, then that is proper pa rin naman po. And then yung next naman pong gusto ko ipakita is ito namang oral arguments dito sa mga kasong to na nakalista sa taas. So this still involves po the General Appropriations Act in relation pa rin to with the unprogrammed appropriations. So kung panoorin nyo po itong part na to kung saan si Justice Hernando yung nagtatanong sa Solgen, so yung timestamp po niyan is nasa 5 hour 26 minutes and yung date po nito is April 21, 2026. So pwede nyo po ito panoorin pero hindi ko na lang ipi-play kasi haba pa tayo masyado. Dito po binabanggit ni Justice Hernando yung bend the law kasi for him yung actions daw ng Solgen or yung actions ng government kung saan dinedefend ng Solgen goes contrary to the Constitution. Therefore, pag pinupush ng Solgen yung ganong legal position, that can be argued as bending the law daw or bending the Constitution according to Justice Hernando. So you may watch and listen po dito na lang sa part na to at maririnig nyo po mismo na si Justice Hernando yung nagsasabi ng ganong terms. Diba? So anyway po, ang main point ko lang, kaya ko po ito pinapakita kasi this is an example po sa Supreme Court natin mismo kung saan actively at aggressively po nagpa-participate yung justice natin sa pagtatanong ng questions dun sa Solgen or sa OSG which goes contrary dun sa legal theory nila pero presented naman po yun sa pleadings ng party. So pwede yung tanungin ng justices in a clarificatory manner. So dun po may kita natin na kahit po aggressive nagtatanong si Justice Hernando, active po, hindi naman po ibig sabihin na partial or bias agad siya. Okay, so ganyan lang din po, similar din yan sa senator judges natin. And then lastly po, ang masasabi ko na lang, kung hindi po kayo happy sa ginagawa talaga ng senator judges natin, dun ngayon papasok yung other quasi-political aspect nitong impeachment proceedings. Kasi mga politicians naman po yung involved dito, mga senador po yan silang lahat eh. So kung tingin nyo mali nga po yung ginagawa nila senator judges, ay pwede nyo po yan sila bawian come the 2028 elections. Diba? Yan po yung magiging remedy ngayon yan ng mga reasonable observers na hindi natutuwa sa actions po nila. Okay, so yan lang po ang masasabi ko as to this issue. Hopefully klaro po yan. Kung gusto nyo po panoorin yung day 10 ng Senate impeachment trial ni Vice President Sara Duterte, dito nyo po yan mapapanood. And special thanks as always to my Associates for Truth, yung membership program ko po sa YouTube channel ko. Huwag nyo po kalimutan i-like itong video, mag-subscribe sa YouTube, mag-follow sa Facebook and TikTok. And until next time, see you all po. Bye-bye!